Is everything cheap bad? Well, today I will review this projector to find out if it is worth it to look for cheap. Enter, and we begin. Digital greetings, everyone. Some people write to me, and they think a projector of $250 or $300 seems very expensive. The truth is that if there are projectors much cheaper and for all budgets. But are its limitations really bad? Well, it depends on the needs. A cheap projector could get you out of trouble. That's why I was asked to review this projector. It doesn't have amazing specs, but after watching this video, I want you to tell me in the comments, is it worth the price and what would you use it for? Let's go with your unboxing. This is an entryway projector. It's cheap and I bought it specifically for my nephew's room. It comes very well protected and comes with a small box of accessories that are a basic but sufficient remote control, an analog input cable, a 19-volt voltage adapter, a 1-meter HDMI cable, and a small startup guide. Like I said, the projector comes very well scratch protected. First impression, and for just $70 it looks nice, even though it's pure plastic, but it doesn't look that ordinary either. In the front part it has its lens and this lever that serves to focus. In the upper part it has 6 control buttons, with its power button in gold color. On one side it has one ventilation grill and on the other side it has one speaker, and on the back are its connections. A USB 2.0 input, an HDMI input, the infrared receiver for the remote control, a headphone output, an analog audio and video input, and its voltage input. While, at the bottom, it has 4 rubber feet, an air vent, and a quarter thread to stand it on a tripod. For about $70 I wasn't expecting too much either, but at least outwardly it looks good and for not so demanding use, it might be worth it. Although it is not a projector with great specifications, I do not feel cheated, because I have only received the quality that I have paid for. Because for $70 you won't get the Ferrari from the projectors, but for what I want to use it for, it will do. I bought it for my nephew's console so that he doesn't spend many hours in front of the television and thus protect his eyesight, since, in this regard, a projector is less aggressive. And its main features are LCD projection type, brightness of 90 ANSI lumens, full HD native resolution, projection size up to 150 inches, integrated 1-watt speaker, LED useful life up to 20,000 hours, does not integrate RAM memory or storage, does not integrate operating system, does not integrate trapezoidal correction, and it does not integrate any type of connectivity. One of the reasons why projectors are not so popular, and they are not in every home, is that if you choose a very good quality one, they are still very expensive devices. For a projector to sell cheaper, they have to cut a lot of resources, and this projector is the proof, as you already saw in its specifications. For this reason, it is necessary for me to disassemble it to know exactly what I am buying. And as you can see, disassembling it is a fairly simple process. 4 screws hold its single control card firm. But to remove it I must remove this connector, which is from its small integrated speaker. It is small, but it will work for a room also small. Remember that this type of projector is called LCD, because it precisely integrates an LCD screen, which is what gives all the quality to the image. And this part here is the projection block, and it must be cooled by a fan or a small turbine like this one. This is what typically integrates all projectors, but LCD type. A reflector with a dispersion lens and a large special LED, which is the one that generates all the brightness power and therefore the ANSI lumens. Of course, the more expensive the projector, the better quality and more power these components will be. Both work together to direct light into this lens, which focuses it and projects it out more precisely. All this process is controlled by a small cheap processor, which gets very hot during processing. That is why it carries this small heatsink, and its main mission is to generate the images on the LCD screen, which will be illuminated and then projected. I have taken apart several LCD-type projectors and I know they all use the same basic principle of operation. Knowing that makes the repair much easier. If you want a high-quality projector for your video room, this projector is not what you are looking for, and you should invest a lot more money in your dream projector. But I repeat, if it is an LCD-type projector, the operation is exactly the same. Some projectors limit their costs in small components, without memory chips, plastic materials, and without an operating system. But it is what must be done to satisfy that group of customers who normally look for cheap and do not want or cannot pay more. Although for the children's room, our elderly parents, or where excellent quality is not required, this projector could be a good option, and that is what we are going to check. To install the projector, I will use this special tripod for projectors, and it is from the very same Wanbo brand. As you can see, this tripod is telescopic, very strong and robust, and can support projectors weighing up to 7 kilos. I leave the link in the description of the video. This small projector will not be a problem for this tripod. Just connect power, turn it on, and go. Now I'll turn off the lights, and this is what it looks like in dim light with this projector. It's not much, so it's mandatory to use it with the lights off. As I told you, this is the simple interface that this projector has. You can only project photos, play some music and video files, although I don't think that in all formats either. That is why this type of projector is to be used almost exclusively with its HDMI port. It has an options button, which allows us to perform some basic configurations in the images, such as choosing an image mode, changing the brightness levels, choosing the type of projection or inverting it, basic sound configurations, an automatic shutdown timer, and some options to change the language and update, but that almost never update. Because it doesn't integrate any content, these cheap projectors need to be used with an external video source, like a TV stick or TV box. I tested it with my Fire Stick 4 Kelvin Max, and it looks like this. During all these tests, do not forget that this is a low-end and low-cost projector. But despite that, it does not look too bad. It does not have the brightness of other projectors that I have tested, but here it goes. Also, remember that my projection screen is reversible. On one side it is white and on the other it is reflective gray. These images are projected onto my white screen and so don't have the best contrast and don't reflect as efficiently either. So if you only have a white screen, a low brightness projector is not recommended. It will look better on a reflective gray screen, and I'll do a little comparison later. Perhaps the biggest advantage of this projector is that, despite being cheap, it is at least full HD, because the images that I see, if they have a regular to good resolution, therefore it will serve well to view any streaming platform. And speaking of streaming, let me remind you of my sponsor, GamesGo, whose secure access link I leave you in the QR code on the screen and in the video description. At GamesGo you can buy cheaper subscriptions from the main streaming platforms, such as Netflix, HBO Max, Prime Video, Disney Plus, and many more. As you can see, this is the number 3 profile that corresponds to me from my Netflix subscription. It always works very well, since I test it on any projector that I review. Be careful, these are subscriptions for a profile or a screen, and that's why they cost $2 or $3, but they are premium account profiles and therefore at maximum 4 Kelvin quality. I bought 4 profiles in GamesGo, one from each platform, to have all the services at the price of one. Since as I check projectors or TV box, I always need accounts with which to test them, and the truth is that I confidently renew my subscription because it has never failed. So now you know. If you want to know more about GamesGo, watch my video that I made to explain it and enter the link in the description. To this small projector, I am going to install my new PS5 console with gold skin. I know that this console is too much for this small projector, but let's see if it at least allows us to use it. As you can see, the PS5 works normally on this projector, and that relieves me a lot, because that's why I bought it for my nephew. The most important thing is that since it is full HD, games will look good as modern games are high resolution. While playing the game, I didn't notice any significant lag, which can be too annoying. Certainly not the best experience, but not too bad either. In addition, this projector will always be in my nephew's room, and it is not for the living room. The only thing I can complain about is that the brightness is not very good, since as you can see here, the images look very dark, even in daytime scenes. If you have a low brightness projector, it is preferable to use a reflective gray screen like the one I have shown you in previous videos, because it is the only way to get maximum brightness from these low-end projectors. If we compare the same images with the white screen, you can see a clear improvement in terms of images just by changing the projection surface. I have already explained this reflective gray fabric in previous videos, and if you want to buy it, I will leave you the link in the video description. Now yes, my nephew will be able to enjoy this little projector, which I already showed you is very simple, but for $70 the images that he projects are not so bad. At least for a child, or for an older adult, I think it will be enough. This cheap projector has no Wi-Fi, no memories, no keystone correction, no Android. But in a dark room, and with a gray projection cloth, it gives you these types of images. The truth is, I don't think they are bad, considering what I paid. I even think that the resolution is acceptable, since when taking photos closer and closer, there is no noticeable pixelation of the image, and it maintains its quality even when I get very close. I know firsthand people who would never spend more than $70 on a projector, and there are hundreds of models this cheap on the internet. If you are not so demanding, or you just want it for something simple, searching will find a model for you. They will not have special functions, but they will work, and sometimes some of them might surprise us. So, it is not always necessary to spend a lot of money on a projector for some basic projection needs. For other people, quality is vital and they can also afford it. For them, I do not recommend it. There's always a compromise between quality and cost, and it is what we call cost-benefit. Thanks for watching this video, and if you liked it, subscribe and activate the notification bell to stay informed with this type of entertaining content. Help me, and let's democratize technology. Until the next video.